Captain Do-hyun Kim was having a normal day on the International Space Station when the strange lights appeared. At first, he thought it was space debris catching the sun's rays. But when the lights grew bigger and started moving in perfect patterns, he knew this was something else. "Houston, are you seeing this?" He called through the radio. Static was his only answer. The lights came closer, and soon Do-hyun could see it wasn't just lights. It was a massive spaceship, bigger than anything humans had ever built. Its surface shone like polished silver, with strange markings that seemed to glow from within. His heart beat faster, but his voice stayed calm as he spoke into the station's recorder. "This is Captain Do-hyun Kim, recording first contact with what appears to be an alien vessel." The alien ship stopped near the space station. Do-hyun watched as a smaller craft left the main ship and moved toward the station's docking port. His training hadn't covered this, but years of space experience told him to treat it like any other docking procedure. To his surprise, the alien ship matched perfectly with their docking system. When the airlock opened, 3 tall figures stepped through. They looked almost like cats walking on 2 legs, with thick fur and powerful bodies. Their eyes glowed with intelligence as they looked around the station. The tallest alien spoke, and Do-hyun almost fell over in shock when he heard perfect English. "We are representatives of the Stellar Coalition. We have been watching your world with great interest." Do-hyun bowed slightly, remembering his manners. "Welcome to the International Space Station. I'm Captain Do-hyun Kim." The alien seemed pleased by his calm response. "Your world intrigues us," the leader said. "We have observed your great predators. The ones you call lions are particularly impressive." "Yes, lions are powerful hunters," Do-hyun agreed, wondering why, of all things, they wanted to talk about lions. The second alien stepped forward. "Our own world has mighty hunters too. We are warriors who respect strength. Your lions show that your world breeds worthy creatures." Do-hyun thought about this. These aliens seemed to value physical power a lot. He remembered watching nature documentaries about lions hunting on the African plains. Lions are impressive, but they're not the only dangerous animals on Earth. The aliens made a sound that might have been laughter. "We have seen your other large predators too, but none match the lion's majesty. It truly must rule your world." Do-hyun smiled slightly, thinking about all the deadly creatures that lived on Earth. If only they knew about the tiny but lethal animals that could kill with a single bite or sting. But that could wait. Right now, he needed to focus on establishing good relations. "Would your people be interested in learning more about Earth's wildlife?" he asked. The alien's eyes lit up. "Yes, we would very much like to visit your world and see these lions in person." As Do-hyun began discussing plans for their visit, he sent a quick message to Earth using the station's backup communication system. He had a feeling that the upcoming cultural exchange would be very interesting, especially when these strength-loving aliens learned that on Earth, the most dangerous creatures weren't always the biggest ones. Looking at the excited aliens, Do-hyun thought about the black mambas, blue-ringed octopuses, and other deadly small creatures of Earth. These aliens were in for quite a surprise. But for now, he would be a good host and listen to their stories about their own world's mighty predators. The first contact had gone well. The real fun would begin when they reached Earth. Hyun Park was still getting used to her new job as Earth's lead scientist for alien relations. When she walked into the meeting room at the United Nations building, 3 cat-like aliens turned to look at her. Their tall forms and muscular bodies made them look like warriors from an ancient story. "Welcome," she said with a polite bow. "I'm Dr. Hyun Park. I'll be helping plan your visit to Earth's wildlife areas." The alien leader, who had introduced himself as First Observer Krull, nodded back. "We are eager to see your mighty hunters in their natural home." Hyun spread out a world map on the table. She had marked all the major wildlife preserves in Africa. The best place to see lions is in the Serengeti. It's a huge grassland where many lions live and hunt. As she talked, She noticed how the aliens' eyes lit up whenever she mentioned large animals. They got very excited about elephants and rhinos, but when she started to talk about smaller animals, they seemed bored. "What about your world?" she asked, trying to understand them better. "What kind of animals do you have there?" Krull stood up straighter, proud to share. "Our greatest hunter is the Stormfang. It stands as tall as 3 of your men and can bring down any prey with one bite." Hei-yun nodded politely, but her mind was working fast. These aliens clearly thought bigger meant more dangerous. She wondered what they would think when they learned about Earth's smaller killers. While they talked, Hei-yun took careful notes about the aliens' reactions. They loved hearing about lions hunting in groups. They were impressed by how lions could take down zebras and wildebeest. But when she mentioned how deadly a cobra's venom was, they barely paid attention. "Small creatures cannot be true hunters," one of the aliens said. "They are merely food for the great ones." Hei-yun thought about correcting them, but decided to wait. Sometimes the best teaching came from experience. Instead, she focused on planning their safari trip. "We'll need to set some safety rules," she explained. "Even our herbivores can be dangerous. A Cape buffalo can easily kill a lion if it gets angry." The aliens laughed at this. "You mean the prey fights back? How amusing." Hei-yun smiled patiently. "On Earth, everything fights back. That's why we've survived so long." As they finished the meeting, Hei-yun sent a message to Captain Do-hyun Kim, who was now back on Earth. "They have no idea what they're in for. They think size is everything. Wait until they see what our smaller animals can do." Do-hyun replied quickly, "Maybe we should show them some videos of black mambas in action. Or would that spoil the surprise?" Hei-yun laughed and typed back, "Let's wait. Some lessons are better learned in person. Just make sure we have plenty of antivenom ready, just in case." Looking at the aliens as they studied pictures of lions in a book, Hei-yun felt both worried and excited. Earth was about to teach these warriors an important lesson. True danger doesn't always come in large packages. She marked their safari date on her calendar and started making a list of all the small but deadly creatures they might encounter. This cultural exchange was going to be very educational for everyone involved. Captain Jae-ho Lee stood in the hot African sun, watching the alien visitors through his binoculars. As head of security for this safari, he had to make sure everyone stayed safe. The 3 cat-like aliens were sitting in their special reinforced vehicle, eyes fixed on a pride of lions in the distance. "Amazing," First Observer Krull said through the radio. "They move like true warriors." Jae-ho watched as the lions stalked a herd of zebras. The aliens were right, lions were impressive hunters. But his hand stayed close to the tranquilizer gun at his hip. After 15 years in African wildlife protection, he knew lions weren't the most dangerous things out here. "Look, they're going to attack," another alien called out excitedly. The lions had split up, some hiding in the tall grass while others moved closer to the zebras. Jae-ho had seen this many times before, but the aliens were completely fascinated. Suddenly, a different movement caught his eye. A large Cape buffalo was walking near the aliens' vehicle. These massive animals could be very dangerous when they felt threatened. "Stay still," Jae-ho warned through the radio. "There's a buffalo approaching your position." The aliens laughed. "The prey animal. Why should we worry about prey?" Before Jae-ho could explain, the buffalo noticed their vehicle. It didn't like finding strange things in its territory. The massive animal lowered its head and charged. The impact shook the reinforced vehicle hard. Even the strong aliens were thrown around inside. The buffalo backed up and got ready to charge again. "Drive. Now," Jae-ho ordered. The driver started the engine and moved just in time. The buffalo's second charge missed them by inches. As they drove to a safe distance, Jae-ho could hear the aliens talking excitedly among themselves. "Did you see its strength?" one asked. "But it's not even a predator," another said, sounding confused. Jaiho smiled as he radioed them. On Earth, everything can be dangerous. Size isn't always what matters. That buffalo could easily kill a lion if it wanted to. They drove to a new spot where they could safely watch the lions again. But Jaiho noticed the aliens were different now. They kept looking around at all the animals, not just the lions. They were finally learning to be careful. Captain Lee, first observer Krall called. "What other surprises does your world have?" "Many," Jaiho answered honestly. "Some of our deadliest creatures are so small you might not even see them coming." He watched as the aliens shared worried looks. Their attitude was changing. They weren't just excited tourists anymore. They were starting to understand that Earth was more dangerous than they thought. A small movement in the grass caught Jaiho's attention. He raised his binoculars and saw a black mamba sliding through the grass, far from their position but visible. He smiled but didn't point it out to the aliens yet. They would learn about Earth's venomous creatures soon enough. As the sun began to set, they headed back to base camp. The aliens were quieter now, thinking about what they had seen. Jaiho sent a quick message to Hae-yun. Buffalo gave them their first lesson today. They're finally starting to understand that Earth isn't as simple as they thought. Tomorrow would bring more surprises. Jaiho wondered how the aliens would react when they learned about the really dangerous animals, the ones that could kill with a single bite or sting. After the safari, the aliens called for a special meeting at their temporary embassy. Taiwan Song, a young zoologist, sat nervously beside Hae-yun Park as first observer Krall stood to speak. "We have seen your lions," Krall said proudly. "They are indeed worthy hunters. But now we wish to show you our greatest predator. We propose a friendly competition." The room's large screen lit up with an image that made everyone gasp. It showed a creature that looked like a mix between a rhinoceros and a bear, but twice as large. Its mouth was full of teeth as long as human arms. "This is the Stormfang," Krall announced, "the greatest hunter of our world. We have brought one with us to demonstrate its power." Taiwan raised his hand slowly. "May I ask a question?" The aliens nodded, and Taiwan stood up. "How do you measure which animal is the greatest hunter? Is it just about size and strength?" The aliens looked confused. What else would matter? One asked. "The largest predator is always the most dangerous." Taiwan looked at Hae-yun, who nodded encouragingly. "Actually, on Earth, that's not true at all. Some of our deadliest creatures are quite small." The aliens made a sound that seemed like laughter. "Small creatures. Dangerous. Young human, you clearly don't understand the nature of true predators." Taiwan tried again. "But what about venomous creatures? Size isn't everything when it comes to..." "Enough," Krall interrupted. "We challenge you to a demonstration. Bring your mighty lions. We will show you what a true apex predator can do." Hae-yun stepped forward. "We accept your challenge," she said before Taiwan could argue. "But we want to choose our own champion." The aliens agreed, probably thinking humans would pick a lion or maybe an elephant. But Hae-yun had other plans. After the aliens left, Taiwan turned to her. "What are you thinking?" "Their Stormfang could eat a lion in one bite." Hae-yun smiled. "Who said anything about bringing a lion? I think it's time we taught them about Earth's special defenses. How fast can you get a black mamba?" Taiwan's eyes widened. A black mamba. But they want a battle of predators. And what better predator than one of the fastest, deadliest snakes on Earth? Hae-yun asked. Sometimes the best lessons come in unexpected packages. They spent the rest of the day planning. Taiwan called the best snake handlers he knew while Hae-yun prepared a special demonstration area. They would need to be very careful, not just to protect the aliens, but to protect the snake too. "Do you think they'll understand?" Taiwan asked as they finished their preparations. Hae-yun looked at the notes she had taken about the aliens' behavior. "They're warriors. They respect power. We just need to show them that power comes in many forms." That night, Taiwan couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the huge storm fang and the relatively tiny black mamba. The aliens were in for a big surprise. Sometimes the deadliest things came in the smallest packages. He smiled as he imagined their faces when they learned just how fast a black mamba could move and how deadly its venom was. Tomorrow would definitely be interesting. The demonstration area looked like a big glass box, split into two parts. On one side, the alien storm fang paced back and forth, its huge feet making the ground shake. The creature was even bigger in real life than in the pictures. Heiyun Park stood next to Taiwan Song, watching the alien visitors brag about their mighty hunter. Behind them, a small, secure container held their own champion. A black mamba, one of the deadliest snakes in the world. "Are you ready to show us your great predator?" First observer Krell asked, looking around for something large. "Yes," Heiyun said calmly. "But first, let me explain something about Earth's evolution. We developed many different ways to survive." She nodded to Taiwan, who carefully lifted the secure container. The aliens leaned forward, then looked confused when they saw its small size. "What is this?" Krell asked. "Where is your champion?" Taiwan placed the container near the glass wall of the empty demonstration chamber. "This is one of Earth's deadliest hunters, the black mamba." The aliens started laughing. "That tiny thing. It couldn't even bite through our stormfang's skin." "Watch," Heiyun said simply. Taiwan used a special mechanism to safely release the snake into the chamber. The black mamba moved with incredible speed, its sleek body flowing like water. Even the aliens fell silent when they saw how fast it moved. "This snake can move at speeds of up to 12.5 miles per hour, Taiwan explained. "Its venom is extremely potent. Without treatment, a bite can kill a human in just 30 minutes. To demonstrate, they showed a video of a black mamba striking. The aliens jumped when they saw how quick it was, faster than their eyes could follow. But it's so small," one alien said, sounding unsure now. Heiyun nodded. "On Earth, we learned that big isn't always better. Our deadliest creatures often use venom or poison instead of pure strength." They showed more videos. A black mamba fighting off a group of humans, another one catching birds in mid-flight. The aliens watched with growing respect. "How does this venom work?" Krell asked. Taiwan explained about neurotoxins and how they could stop a victim's breathing. The aliens looked at their stormfang, then back at the elegant black mamba, seeing it with new eyes. "Your stormfang is impressive," Heiyun said kindly. "But on Earth, we learned that survival isn't just about being big and strong. It's about being efficient." The black mamba moved around its chamber, every motion smooth and purposeful. The aliens couldn't take their eyes off it. "And this isn't even our deadliest creature," Taiwan added with a small smile. The aliens turned to him in shock. "There are more dangerous ones." "Oh yes," Heiyun said. "Would you like to learn about the inland taipan? Or maybe the box jellyfish?" First observer Krell looked at his fellow aliens, then back at the black mamba. We would like to learn more about Earth's hunters, all of them." Heiyun smiled. Finally, they were beginning to understand. Earth's creatures had evolved many ways to survive, and sometimes the deadliest predators were the ones you never saw coming. After seeing the black mamba, the aliens wanted to learn more about Earth's deadly creatures. Heiyun and Taiwan took them to a special research center where they studied dangerous animals. "Today, we'll show you some of Earth's most lethal creatures," Heiyun said as they walked into a room full of special tanks and containers. Security officer Minji Kang stood by the first display. Inside was something that looked like a floating plastic bag in water. "This is a box jellyfish," Minji explained. "It may look harmless, but its sting can kill a human in minutes." The aliens pressed close to the glass, their eyes wide. "But how does something so fragile survive?" Minji touched a scar on her arm. "I met one while swimming once. Trust me, they don't need to be tough. Their tentacles are almost invisible in water, and one touch is enough. They moved to the next display, where a small octopus with bright blue rings sat in its tank. "This is a blue-ringed octopus," Taiwan said. "Its venom is one of the strongest in the world. There is no known antidote. But it's so tiny." First observer Krell said, "Smaller than my hand." "That's what makes it dangerous," Minji explained. "People don't realize the threat until it's too late." The next display made even the brave alien warriors step back. It held an inland tapir, the snake with the strongest venom of any land animal. "One bite from this snake has enough venom to kill 100 humans," Heiyun said. "Or one very large alien," she added with a small smile. The aliens looked at their reflections in the glass, probably thinking about their own size. Being big didn't seem so helpful anymore. Minji shared more stories from her years of wildlife security work. She told them about the time she almost stepped on a stonefish, about watching a cone snail paralyze a large fish, about finding a death stalker scorpion in her boot. "How do humans survive on such a dangerous world?" one alien asked. "We learned," Heiyun explained. "We studied these creatures, understood their habits, and developed ways to live safely with them. Knowledge is often better protection than strength." The aliens were quiet for a while, watching the deadly creatures in their tanks. Finally, first observer Krell spoke. "We were wrong about your world," he admitted. "We thought true power meant being big and strong, like our Stormfang. But your Earth creatures, they are efficient killing machines." Taiwan nodded. "Evolution took different paths on our worlds. Your predators developed size and strength. Ours often developed venom and speed. And you haven't even seen our microscopic killers yet," Minji added. "Would you like to learn about bacteria and viruses?" The aliens quickly said no, looking worried. They had seen enough deadly small things for one day. As they left the research center, Heiyun noticed the aliens walking more carefully, looking around at everything with new respect. They had learned an important lesson. On Earth, danger could come in any size. Perhaps, first observer Krell said, "We should revise our assessment of Earth's classification in the galactic database. Your world is more dangerous than we thought." Heiyun smiled. The aliens were finally beginning to understand what made Earth special. It wasn't just the big, obvious predators that made it dangerous. It was the countless smaller creatures that had evolved their own deadly ways to survive. First observer Krell stood before the human delegation in the United Nations building. The mood was very different from their first meeting. Instead of pride, the alien leader showed respect. "We must admit something," Krell said. "Our first assessment of Earth was wrong. Very wrong." Heiyun and her colleagues listened as Krell continued. "We thought we understood dangerous worlds. On our planet, the biggest creatures rule. But Earth," he paused, looking for the right words. "Earth is special." "What changed your mind?" Du-hyun asked, though he already knew the answer. "Everything," another alien said. "Your black mamba, your tiny octopus with blue rings, your jellyfish that we can barely see, even your buffalo that charges without fear." Taiwan noticed how the aliens kept their distance from all containers now, no matter how small. They had learned their lesson well. "We had creatures like yours once," Krell revealed, surprising everyone. "Small, venomous things. But our ancestors killed them all, thinking they were weak. We thought this made our world safer." "And did it?" Heiyun asked gently. Krell shook his head. "No. We lost something important. The balance. Now our world has only big predators, fighting each other endlessly. Nothing subtle. Nothing clever." Minji, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "On Earth, every creature found its own way to survive. Big or small, each one is important." The aliens shared a look that seemed sad. "We understand now. Your lions impressed us, because they reminded us of our own hunters. But your small creatures, They taught us what we lost. Hei-yun opened her research files on her tablet. Would you like to learn how Earth's creatures evolved? How venom developed? How each species found its perfect defense? The aliens moved closer, eager to learn. Yes, Krell said. We want to understand everything. Perhaps we can learn from your world's balance. As Hei-yun began explaining about evolution and adaptation, she saw real interest in the aliens' eyes. They weren't just being polite anymore. They truly wanted to understand. Your world is like a perfect hunting ground, one alien said. Every creature, from biggest to smallest, has its place, its purpose. Do-hyun nodded. That's what makes Earth special. We never know which creature will turn out to be the most important. Like your black mamba, Krell said. So small compared to our Stormfang, yet far more efficient at hunting. The meeting turned into a long discussion about Earth's wildlife. The aliens asked countless questions about how humans learned to live with such dangerous creatures. They wanted to know about antivenom, about safety procedures, about respect for all living things. As the day ended, Krell made an announcement. We will tell the Stellar Coalition about Earth's true nature. Your world isn't just a planet of big predators. It's a world where evolution created perfect hunters of all sizes. Hei-yun smiled as she packed up her research materials. The aliens had learned something important. True power didn't always come in large packages. Sometimes the deadliest things were the ones you had to look closest to see. 2 weeks after the aliens learned about Earth's deadly creatures, they called for another meeting. This time, they'd brought important news. The Stellar Coalition has reviewed our reports. First Observer Krell announced to the human delegation. They want to offer Earth membership in the coalition. Do-hyun sat up straighter in his chair. That's wonderful news, he said. But why now? What changed their minds? Krell's expression showed what might have been a smile. Your world's special abilities, specifically your knowledge of venoms and toxins. Many worlds in the coalition face problems with poisonous creatures, but few understand them as well as humans do. Hei-yun looked at her research notes spread across the table. You want our help with dangerous animals on other worlds? Yes, Krell said, but more than that. We want to learn how you learned to live with such creatures, how you made antidotes, how you stayed safe while studying them. Taiwan, who had been quietly taking notes, spoke up. We could teach other worlds about safety procedures, about respecting all creatures, not just the big ones. The aliens nodded eagerly. Exactly. And in return, we can offer Earth protection, trade, and access to our science and technology. Do-hyun looked at his team before answering. Hei-yun was already writing new research plans. Min-ji was thinking about security training for other worlds. Taiwan was probably dreaming about studying alien wildlife. We accept, Do-hyun said, but we have one condition. The aliens looked worried. What condition? All research must protect both humans and animals. We won't help kill creatures just because they're dangerous. That's not our way. Krell's worry turned to relief. Of course. That's exactly why we want your help. You understand balance. You know how to live with dangerous creatures, not just kill them. They spent the next few hours planning. Earth would send teams of scientists to other worlds to study their dangerous creatures. In return, alien scientists would come to Earth to learn about their methods. We'll need to build special research centers, Hei-yun said, safe places to study dangerous creatures from other worlds. And training programs, Min-ji added, to teach alien scientists how to stay safe around Earth's wildlife. Taiwan was already designing new protective equipment that would work for different alien species. We'll need to adjust our safety gear for each kind of visitor, he said. The aliens watched all this planning with growing excitement. Your people think of everything, one said. No wonder you survived on such a dangerous world. Do-hyun smiled as he watched his team work. What had started as a simple misunderstanding about lions had turned into something much bigger. Earth was about to become an important part of the galactic community. "When can we start?" Kral asked eagerly. "Soon," Do-hyun promised. "But first, we need to prepare. Working with dangerous creatures takes patience and careful planning." As they left the meeting, Hae-yun turned to Do-hyun. "Who would have thought?" she said. "They came looking for lions, but ended up respecting our smallest snakes even more." Do-hyun nodded. "Sometimes the best surprises come in small packages, just like our black mamba taught them." 1 year after Earth joined the Stellar Coalition, Hae-yun Park stood in front of her new classroom. Instead of human students, she faced aliens from 20 different worlds. They had all come to learn about Earth's dangerous creatures. "Welcome to Earth's Wildlife Safety Course," she said. "Today we'll learn why size isn't everything in nature." In the back of the room, First Observer Kral sat watching. He had become Earth's biggest supporter in the coalition, always telling others about how much they could learn from humans. "Professor Park," a small bird-like alien asked, "is it true that you have flying creatures that can kill with one bite?" "Yes," Hae-yun answered. "But more importantly, we've learned how to study them safely and create treatments for their venom." The classroom had special screens showing live feeds from various wildlife areas. One screen showed Taiwan working with a new species of snake from another world. On another, Minji was teaching alien security officers how to handle dangerous creatures. "Your world has changed how we think about wildlife," another alien student said. "On my planet, we used to kill any creature that seemed dangerous. Now we study them first." Hae-yun smiled. This was exactly what she had hoped for. Earth's knowledge was helping other worlds find better ways to deal with their dangerous animals. Do-hyun, who now worked as Earth's ambassador to the coalition, came to visit the class. "I have news," he announced. 3 more worlds want to join our research program." The students chittered excitedly. Earth's wildlife research centers had become famous across the galaxy. Every world wanted to learn their methods. And, Do-hyun added with a smile, "the coalition has officially classified Earth as a Class A knowledge world for our expertise in dangerous creature studies." Hae-yun remembered how the aliens had first looked down on Earth's smaller creatures. Now those same creatures had helped make Earth one of the most respected worlds in the coalition. After class, Hae-yun walked with Do-hyun to the new Galactic Wildlife Center. Inside, scientists from Earth and other worlds worked together to study all kinds of dangerous creatures. "Did you ever think," Do-hyun asked, "that a black mamba would help us join the galactic community?" Hae-yun laughed. "Sometimes the smallest things make the biggest changes." They watched through a special window as Taiwan carefully collected venom from an alien creature. The venom would be used to make new medicines. On another floor, Minji was updating the galactic database of dangerous creatures, adding information about each new species they discovered. First Observer Kral joined them. "To think," he said, "we almost missed Earth's true strength. We were so focused on lions that we almost missed the real story." "What real story?" a young alien student asked. "That true power isn't about size," Kral explained. "It's about adaptation, evolution, and learning to survive in clever ways. Earth taught us that every creature, no matter how small, has its place in nature." Hae-yun looked out at the sunset over the research center. Earth had found its own place in the galaxy, not as a world of big predators, but as a world of knowledge and understanding. And somewhere out in the African savanna, a black mamba slid through the grass, unaware that it had helped change how the entire galaxy thought about power and survival.